Welcome to another edition of Anglican Unscripted. This is episode 219, the one we do once every 4 years. I'm Kevin Carlson.
And I'm George Conger. Today's February 29th, 2016.
Okay, welcome to the show. It's Monday morning. It's February 29th, and I do want to wish a person a happy birthday. I was going through Facebook this morning, and normally you get the list of 5 or 6 people who have birthdays today, and you go, oh, I have to say happy birthday to them. I've never met this person. And am I sure it's their birthday? Well, today happens to be Tori Belcomb's birthday. He's the priest over at Truro, and I want to wish him a happy birthday because he's the only Facebook friend I have whose birthday is today, February 29th. A rare birthday indeed. George, I was reading on Facebook also about your cat. You seem to have some issues with a cat digesting little O-rings.
It's just fascinating, Kevin. Cats and Facebook are just a combination that's win-win. I can write a story about presiding bishop says that the Apostle Paul was wrong in denouncing a slave girl possession and all this. Nobody cares. I write about a cat eating an O-ring. I get responses. I'm a priest of the Episcopal Church, and I engage in the manly art of automobile repair between services. Had a Daughters of the King service Saturday morning, had a few hours free, so what better to do on a Saturday afternoon than to take the engine apart of the car? Well, I've got the lower oil pan off, and I'm trying to remove the oil level sensor, and the cat's out there watching me intently, making sure squirrels don't attack while we're not looking. Well, time to go to church again, 5 o'clock Saturday service, lay everything out all neatly for my return after dinner, and I come back. O-ring is gone. And I look, and these are Mercedes O-rings. I mean, they charge, I don't know, $75 for a 90-cent piece of plastic neoprene.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it.
Uh-oh.
Well, middle of the night, Susan gets up, goes to the bathroom, and screams. Being a good husband and married for 30 years, I go, what?
What?
She said the cat's been sick. And in our house, when the dog or the cat go to the bathroom or get sick, that's my job. Mm-hmm. It's a male prerogative.
It's what we do.
And I go and clean up, and there's the missing O-ring. And I remark upon this, and I get two sorts of advice. People saying, oh, you must rush immediately to veterinarian to save your poor cat. Or, well, it depends. Did the cat chew it or if it swallowed it? If he chewed it, I'd get a new O-ring. If he swallowed it, I don't think there's enough acid in the stomach to affect it that much. So these are the major life issues of a poor country priest in Florida.
Well, did you buy a new one, or are you using the old O-ring now?
Actually, it'd be more fun if the engine blew out, because then I'd have an excuse to undo everything again. So I'm going to save whatever it costs.
Okay, I'm looking in the monitor here. Oh my Lord, I have a pimple on my nose. I'm 15,
Kevin,
George.
People have accused us of being juvenile for years, so I don't think there's any problem.
I want to thank. I want to allow people to know I am a juvenile now. I finally have some testosterone back in my system. Great. Okay, on to the news. Last week we were talking about Bishop Tenga Tenga. He went to Sewanee Seminary, where he's been hanging out amongst other seminaries. And he spoke with the dean and said to the people listening in the audience, listen, I'm in charge of the ACC, the Anglican Consultative Council, and we need to address what happened in Canterbury. A couple weeks ago in Canterbury, the primates got together and they decided there would be consequences for the Episcopal Church when they changed their marriage doctrine. And one of those consequences is they can't be part of the Anglican Communion, leadership, doctrine, or vote at any meetings for 3 years. I, as the head of the ACC, say that applies just to the primates. It doesn't apply to the Anglican Consultative Council happening in April in Africa. Tech is welcome to attend. Tech is welcome to vote. This weekend, Friday, I think, the executive committee got together of the Episcopal Church, which included Bishop Michael Curry, Gay Jennings, who's the president of the House of Deputies, amongst other executives of the Episcopal Church. And I got basically the same story from both, but different answers. The story is yes, we're going to go to Africa, to the ACC, and vote and participate and be full, loving members of the ACC. But Gay said we're going to do this to represent the church, and we're going to do this with the pride that the church sends us forth with. Michael Curry said, listen, the reality here is marriage is not a core doctrine of the church. And it's not like we disagree on the Trinity or that Jesus was, the Messiah. It's like we just disagree on who can get married. And that's kind of the running story here. And I'm like, I kind of thought marriage was kind of core. And I kind of thought the primates had a little bit more authority in the church, George.
Yes, but Kevin, I really, really like how this is turning out. Not just because I'm a reporter and it's great to have chaos and crises.
Chaos helps, yes.
After a while, Gay Jennings is basically being petulant and a little clownish. I'm going to do what I'm going to do is what she says. And that's not really that interesting a story. Michael Curry, oh, that must be gay now.
Yeah, that's right. You're in trouble.
Michael Curry is responding theologically. He's saying marriage is not a first order issue. It's a secondary issue. First order issue is the Trinity, the creeds, and that's wonderful that he is framing the argument because an argument is now being framed. For years, all we've had is purely a social justice. This is Harvey Firestein. I just want to be loved. Theological discourse in the Episcopal Church. Michael Curry is picking this up and say, look, marriage is a second order issue that we can agree to disagree on. That's a fantastic way forward to get this argument and discussion going. Mm-hmm. So, though I disagree with him, I applaud his honesty.
For honesty, he gets an A. For invoking about 3 or 4 different fallacies in his argument, he gets a C. However, we can. This is at least a starting point where we can go forward. Well, we never had that starting point before with Catherine Jefferts Schori. It was her way or the highway. Where that still may exist now, at least we can agree on some principles here. You think that marriage is not a core doctrine. I think it is a core doctrine. Can I be in communion with somebody who thinks you can marry anything with feet and hooves? I said, nah, I can't. I'm just not that way, George.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you, Kevin. But I am thankful for the little things in life. I am. I'm a father of teenage girls. Now they've just turned 20. I'm a father of girls. I am thankful for small blessings. And this is a small blessing. In other words, if all we had were these continuous sort of political jargon and slang, statements out of Catherine Jefferts Schori and Gay Jennings and that people, then what's the point of it all? But if we are beginning a vigorous debate over what is a sacrament, what is a blessing, how does God work in these relationships, I may believe, and I do profoundly believe, Michael Curry is wrong on these points, but we're at least now starting to play on the same football field. Whereas in the past, we were playing football and they were playing, I don't know, what's say a non-masculine sport, that field hockey. Okay.
Now you've ruined all our field hockey fans are just turning off the tube. Thanks, George.
Okay, well, soccer. Okay,
Soccer, okay,
we're playing football. They're playing soccer. How's that?
That's much better.
And it. So I gotta give Michael Curry credit for that. Mm-hmm. And it's not as bad as what Frank Griswold did in 2003. Remember, Frank Griswold signed a statement saying, "Don't do this," and then he went and consecrated Gene Robinson.
Yeah.
Curry may not have agreed, but he is sticking to what he said. So he's saying, yeah, I'm going to abide by all this stuff that applies to the primates, but I agree with Tenga Tenga that this doesn't really apply to the ACC.
Mhm.
Now, I doubt that this depth of discussion took place. And we know for a fact because the Ugandans have said they're not going to the ACC meeting because it was their understanding that this was included.
Yeah.
Well, probably was just an assumption both sides made. And, poor Justin Welby. As you said, Kevin, we're back to pre-Canterbury meeting again.
We are. I mean, we've now, we had the reboot. We had got the primates together. What can we do to get the church back together? They did all the things properly. They did this in a godly way. They met at the mother church. They came out with an agreement of what to do about tech. They've kind of missed the Canada thing, but we can forgive that. At least they addressed one issue finally. Now the reboot has stopped. You turn your computer, you unplug it from the wall, you plug it back in, you hit the power button. Well, it never fully rebooted here. So we're stuck to the point where we were before the Canterbury meeting 3 weeks ago, where the communion is still broken, and it's broken because of sin. I was reading online about this new "Thy Kingdom Come" evangelical thing from the Church of England, where they want to grow the church through evangelism. And I'm like, that's great, but you guys have forgotten what the gospel is. The reason your churches are empty is because people aren't hearing the gospel. They aren't hearing the saving message of Jesus Christ. We have the same trouble here in America where we don't even know what an evangelist is and what a Christian is. And it's crazy that we think that we should be spreading the gospel when we don't know what the gospel is. It drives me crazy, George.
Well, this stuff isn't hard. I mean, it's a question of leadership, really. Are the leaders willing to not only speak the truth in the pulpit, but live lives of Christian outreach and of discipleship and just be not 9 to 5 Christians or be administrators in charge of churches, but be first servants of Jesus Christ and then leaders of the movement around Jesus?
Mm-hmm. All right.
There's my 2 cents. How's
All
that?
right. That's a good tech answer. Good job. All right. On to some
It's
good
not a
news.
trick answer. That's a faithful answer.
On to some good news. One of our viewers sent us a link to an article about Pair USA in the Southeastern Conference. For those who don't know, Pair USA came out of EMEA. EMEA came out of Rwanda. Rwanda, for the longest time, was doing oversight with Pair USA. And finally, the leaders of Pair USA were talking with the Rwanda leaders about the future. What's it going to look like? And Rwanda's like, listen, we want you to go fully into the ACNA. We want to cut canonical ties with you so that your leadership isn't found with us, but it's found under Archbishop Foley Beach. And I was at the Pair USA conference in November, and I was just, all the bishops were very surprised that Rwanda wanted to do this. They thought that it would be more of a long-term thing, but Rwanda did not really want to wash their hands, but they wanted to get on with it. We need a healthy America. We need you guys to find your leadership within your current bishops and clergy and laity and start building from there. And that's remarkable because sometimes we find with the formation of the ACNA, some of the foreign provinces didn't want to let go and still don't want to let go of their little kingdoms they built. And then we got a letter about the Pair USA people in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's great news. Pair USA's Southeastern Missionary District's bishop has said, look, we don't want to become another diocese. We don't need another diocese in South Carolina, for instance. We have this diocese of South Carolina. We have the Reformed Episcopal Church. We have, well, this, and this. And what he said is Pair USA in the Southeast is going to amalgamate into the local geographic diocese. Will be a fellowship or convocation within these dioceses, and I am asking that I be an assistant bishop in these dioceses. But to build the ACNA, to build the kingdom, there's no need for us to create our own little
Kingdom.
roundabout,
Yeah. Wow.
our
Another.
own little
Yeah.
fortress, because we're the purest of the pure.
Right.
Now, this is so heartening on so many levels. It speaks to a maturity of wisdom, spiritual maturity, spiritual insight, ecclesial maturity, ecclesial insight, and it's on the part of Pair USA. And I just am excited to see faithful, godly Christians acting like grown-ups,
I,
because it's not always so.
it's one of the clearest forms of humility I've seen in my 8 years of doing Anglican TV. To
Mm.
see people not say, okay, we're going to set up our own kingdom here. And to actually say, no, we're going to work with what's on the ground. And I just want to compliment them and thank them and let them be an example for other dioceses.
Well, what Pair USA is doing, it's focusing on the main thing.
Mhm.
The main thing is the propagation of good news of Jesus Christ, and that takes place through the local parish and effort on the ground. Many, not all, but one or two ACNA organizations, the main thing is to maintain the structures, to keep their own little kingdoms intact. And you sometimes wonder, did Jesus Christ die so that we could have our own little
Affinities.
fiefdom?
Yes.
Or did Christ die on the cross, so that we all might have eternal life? Now, that's harsh, I know. I don't mean it quite like that. But
No.
sometimes these institutions seek to preserve the institution as their first goal rather than build the kingdom.
Well, you and I were talking pre-show, and you even had compliments for Bishop Todd Hunter. Uh,
Todd Hunter, Church for the Sake of Others, they are planting congregations across the United States and saying that when these congregations are ready, they will affiliate with the local ACNA diocese. In other words, they are planting and affirming and building up things not to create their own organization, not for the greater glory of Todd Hunter and Churches for the Sake of Others, but to build the ACNA and build the Anglican witness in the United States. And frankly, when you've got a situation in South Carolina where I think there are 5 jurisdictions overlapping at one point in some areas,
6, yeah.
6,
Yep.
it speaks to, well, what is the Anglican witness if you got 6 people who basically all claim to be Anglican, but they can't agree on how to structure themselves?
No. But I think it's also something that's being worked out over time. Affinity was the best they could do to start the ACNA. Affinity cannot be the long-term solution. When you start out with flying bishops, you've kind of started off on the losing side of things. And I've talked to many of the bishops in the ACNA, and they agree that geographical is the long-term solution.
Mm.
Getting there is not going to be easy, and it's going to take a lot of humility, like we see with Para USA, where they're willing to put down the fortresses and work to the kingdom. And George and I just want to sit down and applaud that good work. Hopefully, we can applaud something more often than every leap year. But we're here to stand by. I'm Kevin Carlson.
And I'm George Conger, and you've been watching episode 219 of Anglican Unscripted.